Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat begins this evening at 9:04 p.m, quite late. Earliest time that you can light the Shabbat candles is 7:34. Ends tomorrow evening at 10:28 p.m, and the portion of the week is Parashat Behalotecha. This evening we'll have a pre-Shabbat Kabbalat Shabbat at 6:30 with our member Yehuda Uzan Hav, who will sing for us at 6:30 on Zoom. All the other classes and sessions can be found online and are Zoomed as well. Mazel Tov to the Sikurel family, Alejandra and David, on the engagement of their son Sam to Danny Berenfeld. Mazel Tov also to Georgina and Jamie Estekin on the bris of their son Eliyahu Michael. Big brother Abe goes to his little brother Dave and he says, "Dave, let me teach you today's lesson about being a young boy in this household." He says, "Dave, whenever Mum says, 'What did you just say?' she's saying it not because she can't hear you. She's giving you a chance to change what you said." Now, we're watching in this country and beyond, taking down of statues, wiping away and removing old movies, sitcom, adverts, anything that might be deemed racist by nature. Does deleting something help? Interestingly, elsewhere in the news, this week in fact, there was a different sort of deletion. This was the Second Chance Act that was passed in North Carolina. It expunges the criminal record of somebody who perhaps as a minor or a youngster stole chocolate and they want to become a lawyer when they're older. So this is a Second Chance Act. But how do you define a second chance? Is it simply a second chance from when you were caught the first time? Well, what if someone had no parents to teach them? What if what they were doing wrong they didn't even know? So, did they even have a first chance? Did they have a first time? And so parents, friends, business colleagues, spouses, we all say to one another, "Well, you've done it again. Ay, vey, one more chance." But how do we move on from our past and deal with issues that lie within and have a second chance? A man once came to the Hasidic master of Peshischa, Rebbe Yerachmiel, woefully saying, "Rebbe, I'm a tailor. Over the years I've earned a good reputation at my expertise. The highest quality suits I provide. The nobles, they all come for their own suits, for their wives' dresses. But several months ago I received the most important commission of my life, Rebbe. The prince himself heard of me, and he asked me to sew a suit out of the finest silk in the land. And I got to task, but when I brought him the finished product, he was shouting, cursing. 'This is the best you can do? It's atrocious. Who taught you to sew?' He ordered me out the house, and he threw the garment after me. Rebbe, I'm ruined. The capital I invested in the silk, the cloth is gone. My reputation been destroyed. No one's buying anything from me again. I don't understand. What happened? The best suit I ever made, I've never had anything like this before." The Rebbe's turned to him and he says, "Go back to your shop. Remove all of the stitches of the garment and sew them again, anew, exactly as you sewed them before, and bring it to the prince." "Rebbe, then I'll have the same garment that I have now." The tailor said back, "Do as I say," said the Rebbe, "and God will help." And so 2 weeks later, the tailor was back. "Rebbe, you saved my life. At first I thought your idea was strange. I had little faith in it, but I had nothing to lose. So I did what you said." And when I presented the result to the prince, his eyes lit up. "Beautiful. You've lived beyond your reputation," he said to me. "This is the finest suit I've ever seen." He paid me handsomely, promised to order more. My reputation has been returned to where it belongs. But Rebbe, I don't understand. Tell me, what was the difference between the first suit and the second suit? The cloth was cut the same, sewn the same." The Rebbe turned to him and he said, "The first suit, it was sewn with arrogance, with pride. The result, therefore, was a spiritually repulsive garment. Technically, it was beautiful, but it was devoid of the grace and the beauty. The second suit, however, that was sown with humility of spirit, broken heart. You invested in the garment with your inner beauty and strength, and that evokes awe and admiration to those that see it. In this week's Torah portion, we read of a second chance, when the Jews who have missed out offering the sacrifice of the Passover lamb, saying, Lama nigara, why should we miss out on offering the sacrifice? We were impure, or we were distant, and we couldn't do it. But if you come to the rabbi a week after Rosh Hashanah and say, I missed the shofar, he can't blow it for you again. But a new mitzvah was added, and that is Pesach Sheni. Another Passover lamb was offered. While this is considered a second chance, Rabbi Yosef Yitzchak Schneerson better coined it in the Yiddish phrase, Nishta kein farfallen. There is never a lost opportunity. It is never too late. So even if you failed once, and perhaps a second time, maybe the second time was the same as the first time, and you never actually dealt with it properly. Maybe you had a goal and a dream and an idea, but you never put yourself to the task and opportunity that lay there. Maybe you thought you were inadequate or incapable, or couldn't understand why it kept failing. So while the debate on satire and figurines goes on, from the Torah's position, making change, moving forward, is about learning what it is that we may have missed. When it happens again, or when a new opportunity can be created, infuse it with blessing and holiness. And then any circumstance, we can elevate to that level. The world is saying what? We can't just repeat ourselves. We need to think about ways in helping others change for the better. And they too should be able to achieve their potential in our beautiful world. Shabbat Shalom and God bless.